Alright, every Friday time kama hii mpenzi mtazamaji huwa tuko hapa katika MBCI TV. Kipindi kinaitwa The Men Matters Friday, mahali ambapo tunaangazia mambo inahusiana na wanaume. Ikiwa basi uko pale nyumbani ungependa kujua basi mambo mengi kuhusu Men Matters, tuko hapa nawe mpaka mwendo wa saa 6 za mchana. Welcome to today's Men Matters Friday. Na for the last few days tumekuwa tukiongea mambo ya kuangalia baba nyumbani na vile ambavyo wanafanya kazi pale nyumbani. Today we are talking about the role of a father in parenting. The role of a father in parenting is our topic today. Na tuko na watu ambao tutakuwa tukizungumza nao kule ground, watuambie what is the role of a father in parenting. Na pia tuko na swali kwako mpenzi mtazamaji. We have a very simple question. We have the current fathers of this generation and the fathers of the previous generation. The question is, what is the difference between previous and present generation fathers? What is the difference between the previous and present generation fathers? Baba wa sahi, baba wa hapo nyuma, tuambie tofauti. Nambari yetu ya SMS ni 23814 23814. Hiyo ni SMS. Vile vile nambari yetu ya WhatsApp, ukitaka basi kutext tuko hapa 0721 105 105 0721 105 105. Vile vile tuko live on our FB account. Ikiwa basi ungependa kuacha your SMS pale, tuandikie kupitia our FB account and even our YouTube on MBCI TV official. Naitwa Mr. Kags mwenyewe. Karibu sana katika kipindi cha siku ya leo, na naona tuko hapa na my friend, my colleague Munene David mwenyewe.
Yes, hapa kuhakikisha kwamba masuala ya wanaume tunaijadili vilivyo. Kwa sababu men are an integral part of the society. As in wanaume wakikosa katika society, kuna mambo yataenda ni segemnege ama ni mrama.
Ni segemnege. Unaitwa segemnege.
Ni segemnege. Yes, and we are here kuweza kuangalia na kuulizana, je, mababa wa sasa hawataki kuitwa wababa, ndio? Wanataka
tutumie hiyo.
Tutumie wababa. Tuseme men was the present day fathers. Na wale were the previous generation fathers. Is there a difference? Ama je, are we heading towards the right direction ama tunaenda tukipotea? So that's what we are looking at today, and of course looking at what Bwana Kags ametuambia hapa ya kwamba what is the role, what's the role of fathers
in parenting.
In parenting. Yes.
23814 is our SMS number. 0721 105 105 is our WhatsApp number. Tuambie what is the difference between the previous and present generation fathers.
Yeah. And Bwana Kags, I don't know whether you have an experience or you've hand over issues ambazo zinaguza sasa unajua wababa ama bababa inaingia hapo kwa context, lakini wacha tutoe hiyo. Things that maybe ukiangalia they are what I can almost say sickening. Things that are disturbing, Yes. Ukiangalia baba wa sasa na baba yule ambaye tulijua, and one of the best ways ya kuangalia ni kujiuliza not a simple question anyway, what kind of a father are we?
Yes.
As compared to our fathers. Kile tuliona, vile tuliona na vile walituambia kuhusu baba zao, and who we are becoming today. I think we have to look at that in depth,
in details.
Yes.
Na Munene,
yes.
Nafikiri kuna issue ambayo inahusiana na baba.
Yes.
A father is someone who is very 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 important in the society.
Yes.
Na imagine kama baba, kuna watu ambao wanakuiga pale home, iwe ni watoto, iwe ni your wife wanakuiga hapo.
Yes.
Na there is this daddy ambaye alikuwa very instrumental kuensure kwamba his family inamsikiza. He was just a born again father.
Yes.
Mwenye alikuwa na inspire the family.
Yes.
Mambo ya evening devotions.
Yes.
Mambo ya kuongoza waombe vitu hizo zote. And usually alikuwa pia anawasaidia.
Yes.
Na to understand, we as a family tunahitaji kumtegemea Mungu.
Ni kweli.
Kwa hivyo the children walikuwa wakijua kwamba the only way you can be able to survive as a family is to trust in God.
Yes.
The wife naye walikuwa wameshikana wote wawili to be able to push their agenda,
yes,
through the spiritual line. So walikuwa na encourage, anawatia moyo, and siku moja this man was a business person, kwa sababu ya shida hapa na pale business ika collapse. So baada ya business kucollapse, ikabidi basi arudi home na akae hapo nyumbani. Na alipokaa pale nyumbani ikakuwa basi yako down. Unajua wakati mwanaume mfuko imeenda chini, inaendaga pamoja na
That is true.
Sasa jamaa akiwa home, ikawa basi ako chini, amehuzunika sana, and mpaka ako naongea mpaka na bibi mke wake. Ako tu akiulizwa kitu haongei, amenyamaza tu. Na siku moja mke wake akasema, how comes this man, he has been of great encouragement to us in this family, na leo yeye ndiye ako chini. Kwani kenye amekuwa akituambia si real? Kwa nini si real? Akasema, akajaribu kuongea na yeye, kumtia moyo, kumu-encourage, lakini mambo haibadiliki. Akadevise a strategy. You know, wives know how to to devise a strategy. Ya kuweza kuokoa huyu jamaa. Kwa sababu wanamhitaji. So, siku moja, in that country, kama mtu akifiwa, unavalia kila kitu ni nyeusi. Black. Kila kitu. Kutoka kiatu, socks, lini, nini, mpaka kitambaa.
Na of course nywele pia ni nyeusi.
Na nywele ni nyeusi. To symbolize siku nzuri kuna mtu ameenda. So the lady akaenda akanunua very nice dark cloth. Kila kitu. Kangojea jamaa amekuja, ako home, ametulia, hakujua kama ako. Wakati amefika tu hivi, akatokelezea na nguo za black kila mahali. Ndio jamaa akajua,
kuna mtu ameondoka.
Especially ukiwa na wife amevaa, kuna mtu ambaye ni very close. Ameenda Kipsengwe. Unajua Kipsengwe ni wapi?
Kipsengwe.
So akaenda na akashangaa, akamuuliza mke wake, hey, my wife, kwani kuna mtu ameenda? Wife ni amehuzunika, na bwana ameogopa kwa sababu hajui ataambiwa ni nani. Akaambiwa yes, kuna mtu ameenda. Akaambiwa who is gone? Wife amekaa pale, akamwambia, you know what my husband? God is no more. Mungu ameenda. Akamwambia, bwana wacha mchezo. Be serious. How can God be normal? Mungu anaweza kufa aje?
Tunamuomboleza.
Tunamuomboleza. That's why the wife anaomboleza Mungu amekufa. Akamuuliza aje? And then the wife told the husband, the way you are behaving yourself can easily tell the God you talk to us about is normal. There's no question about that. Hayuko? So mimi nikaona kuliko ati nikae sini kujoin. Tufanya nini?
Acha tuomboleze
pamoja. And therefore hivyo akamwambia, kwa nini unasema hivyo? Akamwambia, wewe mwenyewe, you have been very instrumental in telling us we should trust in this God in this family. Hata kama hakuna nini, we should always trust in him. How comes huyu ambaye umekuwa ukituambia kuhusu wewe mwenyewe unafanya kinyume? It's not there.
It's true.
Therefore mwanaume akashtuka sana. Akamwambia, no, go and remove those clothes, valia nguo mzuri. Our God and my God is still alive. Is still there. And therefore mwanaume akaenda, na maybe vile tuliambiwa na pastor last week, alienda kwa bathroom, kaenda kafanya ile kitu akalia,
akanawa uso. So kama ungepata ni kama ndio anaoga, lakini mimi ni machozi imejaa kwa uso.
Ni machozi. Wakati ameenda kuchange nguo na akaenda kufanya nini? Kulia. Akakuja akiwa fresh. And now the time akambia the wife, you never see this again. Our God is still alive. And from there, jamaa hakuifanya hivyo tena.
Now that means that's number one, that's awesome, especially the wisdom that was played there. Kwa sababu unajua wanaume si hawapendi kushautiwa. As in to shout them down. As in unataka kumrekebisha lakini you want the rooftop to hear. The kind of the the rebuke and all that. You have to devise, of course, some wise way. Leave alone hata nyumbani. Hata even in the workplace. You don't just shout si heshima, you know.
Hapana, sio heshima.
Just devise a way yenye utaongea na mtu kwa heshima, you know, na kwa maarifa. Like this woman, I think this woman,
she's a wise woman.
Is like a present day Abigail. Yes.
Mwenye anajua jinsi ya kuhandle nani?
Could handle the husband,
the head of the family. Umeona?
Let me tell you, there are times that especially in our time, these present moments,
yes,
many things inaleta wanaume chini
kabisa.
As in unakuta, not that angependa kukua chini anyway, lakini the situations that come zinamweka chini
sana.
And I think we must devise a way ya kuhakikisha ya kwamba the man will at least remain akiwa revived, spirit yake ibaki at least ikiwa iko revived. Why? Because minus a revived spirit, huyu mtu atapeleka wapi jamii, atapeleka wapi watoto, atawaeleza nini? As in, when you come and you're totally broken, totally umekwisha kabisa. Like yesterday I had an incident that was not very good. And you know what happened? So we are having a lot of cases of runaway insecurity.
Yes.
And unajua I have a daily routine ya keep fit. You know, actually to me sana natumia walking, yeah. So I have a target of at least 10,000 steps a day.
Okay.
Yes,
that's a good one.
Yes, kutembea.
That's a good one.
So
and keep
now,
it up.
Thank you so much. Sasa nilikuwa nafanya sasa ya jana after having sat in a certain meeting for literally the whole day. So nikireport jioni kwa the program ya jioni Back the Cross, kasema why not ni hapa karibu, let me just take a walk. Sasa nikiteka walk karibu nifike somewhere, nikakutana na majamaa, yeah. Watatu, some just young men, and they were wielding knives. Walikuwa wanashika visu, wanataka wapatie simu
vitu
na kila kitu. So they took the phone.
Yeah.
Now, when nikipofika hapa job, I was speaking to my supervisor, nikimweleza what has happened. Do you know what alikuwa ananiuliza nini? As in, are you serious? Nikamuuliza kwa nini? You look so relaxed. As in, it's like nothing has happened. Are you serious in story ya ukweli unaniambia? And then I realized, so there is a way, maybe you know, kuna vile ukipata na jambo, even for men now in this case, kuna mambo imekataa kuingiana during the day. Ukifika nyumbani, you don't have to be grooming and kama kila kitu. You are still alive. You know, and then you are alive.
And you see, these people are looking at you.
Yes.
Wakiona as if there is no hope in you.
Yes.
It really tells them kila kitu ni kibaya.
That is true.
But hata kama wewe unapitia hali ngumu namna gani, it should inspire hope.
Yes.
To your people, to your family.
As long as you're breathing, as long as you're still on this other side of eternity, there is still
hope.
The
good thing again, we should share with our spouses
yes,
what we are going through.
Of course.
Because they are the spiritual pillars at home.
And I think leo tumebahatika sana sababu I know in a short while we'll be joining our guest.
Yes.
Yeah, that is Reverend Mahoya. And of course, wale ambao tumeinteract na yeye in the previous episodes, I know you can attest of you know the wealth of wisdom that we have.
Yes.
Na Mungu amempatia. And I know that of course we'll be learning quite a lot, even within the course of the show. Yes.
And today we are asking you, dear viewer, what is the difference between the previous and the present generation fathers? The difference between the previous and the current generation fathers.
Yes.
Wale wa zamani na wa sahi. Tofauti kwa wapi? Tuambie kupitia 23814 23814 is our SMS number. Vile our WhatsApp ni 0721105105. Our topic today is the role of a father in parenting. The role of a father in parenting.
Yes.
Yeah, kwa sababu pia baba ako na jukumu lake katika mambo ya ulezi wa familia. For the last I think 2 or 3 weeks tumekuwa tukiangalia the role of a father in parenting a boy.
Yes.
Lakini sasa tunataka kuangalia generally parenting ya baba iko namna gani katika familia zetu.
Yes.
Kwa hivyo pia unaweza kutoa huo mchango, and as we wait for the guest to come Monene, I think we can also talk about the difference between the previous and present generation. Yes. Baba wa sahi na baba wa zamani, my friend, kuna tofauti kubwa sana. Uweze ukalinganisha baba wa zamani na ule wa sasa. Kuna tofauti kubwa sana. Kwa sababu yule wa zamani alikuwa more responsible, Yule wa zamani alikuwa more committed to the issue of parenting. Kuna njia zenye alikuwa anataka kufanya mambo, lakini wa saa hii kuna vile ambavyo naye ameona afanye mambo kitofauti. Okay? Kwa hivyo mtazamaji, samahani si msikilizaji, mtazamaji, utuambie tofauti kati ya baba wa kizazi cha hapo nyuma na cha sasa iko wapi?
What's the difference?
23814 and then 23814 and then 0721105105 na mambo inakuwa iko sawa tena sana.
Yes.
Naona mchungaji yako area.
Ndio huyo sasa.
Wanaweza sifiwe.
Amen.
Amen, yes.
I love your outfit.
Yes, today I decided to be like you.
That's awesome.
You well?
Well, kabisa.
Yes.
And doing fine.
I'm here again for the boy child.
How has your week been?
My week has been fantastic.
Wow.
Very busy.
Yes.
Najua kazi yangu ni kupambana na vichwa.
Yes.
So tools imekuwa kazi.
Yes.
We thank God he has given us an opportunity to serve his people.
Wow.
Right. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Mine has been very nice.
Yes.
I thank God for everything. We are trying to shape men here and there.
Yes. Powerful.
Yes.
Yangu imekuwa mzuri. Isipokuwa ni just a small incident.
Yeah.
And you know it's bad because those are tomorrow's fathers.
Yeah.
And wengine, by the way, it's possible, although ni young generation, hii ni kidogo. But in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, una expect ndio baba fulani, ndio baba fulani. Alafu
anakushughulikia.
Not in a
Yeah,
good way.
losing your phone can be very torturing because it's not the phone that really make us feel bad.
Yes.
It's what is in the phone.
That exactly.
But I encourage you,
Yes.
buy another.
Of course.
You're alive.
Yeah.
Your hands are still there.
That is
Money
true.
will come.
Very true.
And whoever stole the phone, if it can help him,
Yes.
let it be.
And I also take it as a, maybe, you know, whatever belongs to me.
Yes.
Whatever has touched my hands, you know, mtu akiuza ama mtu aende nayo, it should have some good impact. Ile ilikuwa inanisaidia hivyo pia wacha ikuwe ya msaada. And of course, we also pray that Mungu aweze kubadilisha watu.
Of course, now if you look at what is happening in the country,
Yes.
these phones doesn't help them.
Sure.
They discovered quite so many of them, over thousands.
Yeah.
So even don't know why they steal them. I don't know.
I think
They
it's
don't
just,
have somewhere to
It doesn't
sell.
seem
They just
to
keep
be
them.
taking them anywhere. And again, when someone gets used to stealing phones, it seems the only thing that will save you is to be killed. They don't stop.
Yes.
That's where the challenge is.
Yeah, and
that's why, you know, they are stealing without...
Even without them being held by whatever they are stealing.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I was trying to analyze this kind of a mess in our society kwa sababu unakuta wizi umekuwa mwingi sana, not only in this region but
Yes.
the whole country. There was another scenario I was reading in Johannesburg in South Africa.
Yes.
The same scenario, and those people who are doing this, I think 99% are men. And I was asking myself, because this situation is becoming now out of hand, what are we going to do to be able to mend this problem? Because it is men who are doing it. Yesterday pia nilipata some 4 boys were cornered by police. They were using bodabodas to steal people.
Yes.
Na wakashikwa wote 4 wawili wakatoroka. Na nikasema, things are very bad here.
Na kwanza hao ni wale wanaiba mchana. Kwanza hao ilikuwa ni mchana kabisa.
Na wote ni wanaume. So right in Kenya, in South Africa, the situation is like similar. Mchungaji.
The world is becoming a global village. We are borrowing habits and behaviors and character and lifestyle. So thieves are everywhere now in the world.
We don't want to say it's a thieving world.
No, the world has become a thieving world.
There was one guy who was who shot many people in US. They managed to escape. Mpaka sasa bado hajapatikana.
The one who I think caused the death about 18.
Yeah.
Hapo and then wengine critically injured.
Yes.
Some of these things I think sijui kama kuna a lot of mental instability kwa sababu ya zile shinda ziko ama what's happening. Maybe the pressure is too much for men.
I think from my understanding, and it's my opinion, the society is no longer emphasizing on good virtues. They are bringing us a problem. Because what is this that makes you to become a thief all of a sudden when you are an adult? It seems that they are bringing of the boy child, and perhaps also with the girl child, is also becoming a problem. Because the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he grow up, he shall not depart from it.
Yes.
This departure you are saying is not actually a departure. This is who the children have been raised to be. If they were raised well, I don't think the child will, the minimum, the percentage of those who turn to be wicked thieves would be very minimal.
Correct. It's true.
So it's a challenge of upbringing, and that's why we are discussing about bringing up the boy child.
Yes.
Because if we don't get it right there, the society will be full of so many messes. If the boy child say no to these messes, the society will be streamlined.
That is true.
So the challenge is that their upbringing has a problem. About the parents, the parents have got an answer to the dilemma we are having of the kind of men we are producing, especially in this generation Z. We have a problem unless we really empower the father and the mother to raise the child.
Yes.
As time goes by, if we don't look at our upbringing, we are going to produce a very dangerous generation.
Okay. And there was one question, because I know we have our main topic, the role of a father in parenting.
Yes.
And maybe in a nutshell, we're asking one question, Mchungaji. What is the difference between the previous and present generation fathers? What is your general view on that?
I would say that we normally have different types of parenting. When you talk about parenting, there's what we call parenting styles. And the difference between the old generation and this generation is the style of parenting. The old generation was authoritarian. Authoritarian style of parenting, where the father had the final say. The father set the rules. The father dictates the moves. The father anakohoa munaitika. Majority of the fathers then were authoritarian. That's why most of the children who are raised then are children who are cool.
They are cool.
They are very cool.
Nimesema wachana na hiyo mambo. And that's it.
And then inaisha tu. You remember hata mzazi wa then angekuangalia tu na macho, ana communicate a lot. Macho tu.
Kiangalia hivi unajua hizo ni bibi kwa tatu. Macho.
Yaani akija nyumbani alafu umepita hapo, akuongeleshi, anakupatia jicho,
anakuangalia hivi, unaenda kuingia huko because you know what awaits you.
So we had this type of a father parenting style. The father is authoritarian. Authoritarian don't give you a chance to explain. They beat you when you are wrong. If you cry, they beat you. If you don't cry, they beat you. They set the family rules. They are authoritative in everything. Even to their very wives, they were very authoritative fathers. Today we have what we call permissive styles. The permissive style of fathering children is allowing children to have their way. Is doing what the child is asking you to do. It is minimizing your involvement in what the child is doing and asking. That's why you see the father comes to the house, they don't want interaction, they throw the phone to the children and so that they can have their time. So the child cry because of the phone, you give the phone. They cry because they want the bread, you give the bread. So it's called permissive styles of parenting. And that is the difference. Then we were raised by authoritarian fathers. Now we are raised by permissive mothers and fathers.
Could we also call it democratic?
It is kind of a democratic kind of, but it's not democracy per se. This is quite a withdrawal from proper parenting. When you say permissive, you're saying you are allowing the child to be what the child wants to be. Do what the child wants to be. Wake up when the child is ready to wake up. And this generation is really suffering because of permissive parents.
Right.
Of course, we have this kind of a parents we call avoider. The avoider style, whereby you are not involved much in what is going on in the life of your child. And that's the kind of fathers we are having now. The school where the child go, only the mother know. The church where the child go, only the mother know. The kind of the uniform and where they are going to be bought is the mother who know.
Even the class that the child is attending.
Yeah, we have fathers who are withdrawers.
Very dangerous.
They are avoiders. That's the avoidance styles of fatherhood.
One of the biggest issues that teachers have at school is should a father choose to drop their kid, at school, maybe there's some form that needs to be filled. Kitu moja inakuwa ngumu sana. Date of birth.
They don't remember when the child was born.
Because they don't even know.
They don't know.
Yes.
It's very common. I even don't remember the actual dates. But even if you don't remember the actual date, from that very date, be faithful as a father and nurture your child.
That is true.
The remembering the dates, I think, is a mental issue, it's a psychological issue. But we cannot necessarily reprimand men because of that. Because I realize it's a natural problem.
We cannot equate good parenting with the remembering bad dates.
We cannot. And of course, we cannot also we cannot equate good parenting with remembering bad dates and for the children and both their mother.
It's true.
So sometimes you also need to be reminded that it's your wife's birthday.
Yes, sure.
And that doesn't mean you are a weak man. It's a natural problem with all men. Yeah.
Now, let me ask a question, Reverend.
Yes.
We've had a lot of advocacy, even, okay, I'm not here to champion for Kiboko na nini.
Yes.
But I think the Bible seems very clear, ya kwamba ukiondoa kiboko kwa mtoto, then what you're bringing up is not actually a good son or a good daughter.
Yes.
Una bring up something else, somebody else. Now, can we kind of merge the previous generation kind of parenting, the fatherhood especially, the role of the father katika kulea mtoto na katika discipline ya mtoto, can we be able to merge it, that kukuwe na that authority of the past and kind of understanding the context of the child in our present generation?
I think that goes back to family leadership. Just like any other leadership, we need to understand there are three styles of leadership. Three styles of leadership, and this is applicable in the family. One of the styles of leadership is what we call autocratic, autocratic or dictatorship. Others would use maybe a bit polite word, authoritative. We need to know the other second types of leadership is what we call participative types of leadership. Participative is democracy kind of leadership. And then we have what we call laissez-faire, where people make decisions and they are able to do what they want. The leader is hands-off. When we look at these three types of leadership, we always say you need three of them, you don't need one. So, because the types of leadership style a man is going to use in the family must be dictated by the situation at hand.
Mchungaji, I beg that you stop at that point.
Yes.
Because time for a short break is here.
Yes.
When you are coming back, you finalize on that.
Yes.
Right?
Great.
And dear viewer, this time around, we want to take a short break and we're asking you, what is the difference between the previous and present generation fathers? Tell us. 23814 or 0721 105 105. We'll be right back after this.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Don't be afraid to move.
Sounds of praise and jubilation fill the air as anointed ministers of God come together from across the continent through Healing Center Ministries International for a breakthrough experience like no other. Featuring Prophet Samuel Addison from Ghana, renowned gospel minister Moses Bliss, and Apostle Paul Odola from Nigeria, award-winning gospel singer Michael Mahendere, and Apostle Crispin Mahoro from Zimbabwe, and our very own Evelyn Wanjiru and Pastor Tumaini from Kenya. From 1st November 2023 or through till 4th November at Kasarani Indoor Arena. For more information, call 0722 135 431 or 0753 604 531. Let's converge and receive from the Lord. Do not miss out.
Kingdom Missionary Society for All Nations KIMSAN kwa ushirikiano na viongozi wote wa makanisa ya Molo wanawaalika nyote katika mkutano mkubwa wa Injili, ubatizo na matibabu ya bure, yani free medical camp, kwa ushirikiano na Quality Modern Hospital, Kabarak University na Wizara ya Afya. Wakaaji wote wa sehemu zote za Molo mnakaribishwa mjiunge nasi Molo Stadium kwa siku 3 za Injili, miujiza, matibabu ya bure na uvuvio. Mkutano huu utaongozwa na mtumishi wa Mungu Reverend Sifas Senyonjo kuanzia tarehe 26 mwezi huu wa Oktoba hadi tarehe 28 mwezi huu wa Oktoba mwaka huu 2023. KIMSAN, sharing God's love, transforming lives.
What we need to do is to replace, and then we'll have variety of the new now versions of music. But when we don't do that, we will find ourselves extremely connected with the past than with the present.
Wow. What is the process of finding out and determining
what is new?
That this on which I'm listening to,
yes,
maybe if we can use evil, and maybe this on which I'm listening to does not have any evil.
If anything that I'm listening to does not cultivate an environment for the word of God to have root, that I can meditate on that word, and that word can bear fruits that are pleasing to my God, then that tells me that then it is not productive for me. It is not beneficial for me. It could be, it's a good song, yes, but it's not beneficial to me.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Right, welcome back. The Main Matters Friday. We are here, Reverend Mahoya, Mnene David, Paul Kagi here. Today we are talking about the role of a father in parenting, and we have one question. You can also text via 23814 or 0721 105 105 goes up. We are asking you, what is the difference between previous and present generation fathers? What is the difference between previous and present generation fathers? 23814 is our SMS number.
Yes, and Bwana Kagi, is kabla tujaenda kwa break pale, there's something Reverend alikuwa anatueleza, and that's about how we can merge, you know, the kind of parenting that we had in the previous, you know, for fathers especially, and what we have in the present day, so that we may get a best outcome.
Right.
So Reverend, how can we get a best outcome out of what we have in the past, the wealth of the past, and sometimes I don't want to say the waywardness of the present, but well, because there are good things that we still have in the present, but many challenges.
Yes.
So how can we match the two?
I've said this question touches on the family leadership, because it's about the leadership of both the mother and the father in the family. So what you are saying here we have 3 types of leadership style commonly known, because there could be others. So dictatorship or authoritative. Authoritative, we are talking about authoritative kind of leadership. So as a father, you must understand these 3 styles of leadership. Authoritative, autocracy, or what we call dictatorship. Yes. The second one is participative type, styles of leadership. This is what we call democracy, where you listen to your child and your wives and your family. Then all of you agree on the decision to be made. Then we also have what we call laissez-faire, whereby people have their way. And we normally say dictatorship is when your word is final, no questioning. Participative is when everybody's word matter. And then laissez-faire is when the leader's words doesn't matter.
That one is very new to me.
Yes. So what happens, these leadership styles, all of them are okay. What needs to dictate the types of leadership style to be used in the family is the situation.
Yeah.
Where dictatorship is needed, it should be applied. Where you need democracy, democracy is important. So it's the role of the father and the mother in today's generation to understand situations and what kind of a leadership is needed. For example, if there is a danger in the family, the father should dictate direction we are taking.
Yes.
And when the children seems to think otherwise, the dictatorship need to apply.
Yeah.
But you cannot be fully engaged 24/7, a dictator. You cannot also be a laissez-faire, allowing people to have their way
every other time.
So for us to really have a balance, like the earlier parents who are authoritative and today's parents who are permissive, neglectful, and avoiders, we need to balance the leadership style, being authoritative at the same time being participative. Right. So we need to have a balance. There's no better way to be a leader. Even those parents then, they did a lot of mess because of being authoritarian. So because they also denied children time to express themselves. So it's not that they were all good. It simply means they were also having imbalances.
Yes. All right.
So we need to have a balance. Great.
And I was getting a new jargon for what you're saying.
Yes.
That we should have what we call the convergence leadership.
Yes.
Yes, in our families.
Exactly.
I can see you're having a lot of feedback. Before you get there,
yes,
we want to again reintroduce what you're talking today, the role of a father in parenting. I know for quite some weeks we have been talking about the role of a father in a boy, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
But today, let's talk about this father. What is his role in parenting? And then we'll be looking at the feedbacks.
I would like to begin by saying that parenting boys is and girls as a father is not for cowards. It's not an easy work. It's a hard work. Parenting as a father is also intentional.
Yeah.
It's not something that happens automatically. Parenting as a father is intentional. It's a journey. It's not an event. It's a process. And that process really requires your firm leadership as a father. It requires your intentionality as a father. And it also requires perseverance. So as we talk about parenting as a father, I'll begin by helping us understand about the types of fathers that we have. We normally have 4 types of fathers. Number 1 is a biological father. A biological father is the one who gave birth to you or to your child. The second one we call stepfather. A stepfather is the one who take over the responsibility of a child they never gave birth to. It's called a stepfather. And then we have what we call a foster father. A foster father. We are calling a foster father because you took responsibility of nurturing a child as a father. Maybe the child could be having a father, but you are taking a father figure in someone's role. And finally, we have what we call adoptive father. Adoptive father is where you adopt a child you never gave birth to. All these are fathers. And you know they have a role of parenting. So when you're looking at parenting as a father, you must understand that the types also is critical.
All right. Thank you for that, Mchungaji.
Yes.
I know that you're heading to the next point.
Yes.
Before you get there, we have our guy, Vincent Kimutai, who is on the ground, who wants to talk to people and who want to hear what they're saying about the role of a father in parenting. Vincent Kimutai, if you're there, uwanjani wako.
Kagi pamoja na Mnene, hapa leo nitakuwa nikizungumza na Wakenya kuhusiana na mada ambayo mnazungumzia hapo studioni, mada kuhusiana na majukumu ya baba katika kumlea mtoto mvulana. Hii ni kwa sababu kuwa wazazi wengi wa kiume wamekuwa wakionekana wakikosa kuwa karibu na watoto wao wavulana ili kuweza kuwafunza na kuwapa malezi ya kuwasaidia kuwa watoto ambao wataweza kutegemewa katika jamii. Leo hapa nitakuwa nikizungumza na wazazi.
Unajua wazazi sana sana kama wanaume hawapatangi time na watoto wao. Sana sana ndio maana unaona watoto wetu vijana wanafika mahali wanaharibika juu ya nini? Mzazi kama mbaba huwa akitoka asubuhi anarudi jioni akiwa amechelewa. Kwa hivyo ananga time na mtoto wake. So nilikuwa naomba baba tafadhali, watoto wanatuhitaji. Si mtoto ni wa mama peke yake, mtoto hata ni wa baba. Ukiwa karibu na mtoto wako hataenda kuharibika juu. Unaona wale wazazi wa kitambo walikuwa wanafunza watoto wao karibu. Hata kukula walikuwa nakula pamoja, lakini imefika mahali kama mzazi ambao ni mbaba anakuja anakula peke yake. Ni vizuri kukula saa nyingine na watoto na kuelekeza sana sana kwa Mungu. Unajua mababa mnatuachanga, kanisa imekuwa ni ya wamama. Tafadhali naomba kama wewe mzazi ambao ni baba, kuja tuende kanisani juu mtoto hao watoto wakiona ya kwamba baba na mama wako kanisani wamejua Yesu, na hata hao watafuata hivyo. Kenye kinafanya hata wanaenda nje ni kwamba mimi mzazi ambao ni mama nimeokoka naenda kanisani. So kanisa hata inakuwa ni ya baba peke, ni ya mama peke yake. Ndio maana inafika mahali hata kijana akifika form 2, form 3 sababu anaona baba hata achamjua Yesu, hata yeye bado hataki kumjua. Tafadhali nawaomba wazazi, sababu watoto ni wetu, tushikane pamoja tujue huyu Yesu, alafu tumkimbilie na watoto wetu wote watafuata vile tuko.
Kwanza kwa kuwapa elimu ambayo ni bora. Pili, kando na hii elimu ya darasa, pia ile elimu ya maisha. Kama ni biashara lazima awafunze njia ya kuaji katika biashara, jinsi ya kujikimu peke yao.
The role of a father in a play, it's very critical, especially for a boy, because it shapes how you behave. Unaona? The first thing to do is, let's say something like religious. If you come from a religious background, utapata like most people will have also inhibit the religiousness imetoka from their fathers, because those are the first teachers and first parents wanakuonyesha. The same thing, if you are financially capable, from a financially capable background, utapata the children also will try to emulate what their father do, because these are things which are being taught to them now and then. Naona, even the principles zenye una hold dear or not. Naona, another thing pia inategemea ni was the father there presently or time you grow up or not, because kama hayuko pia it creates a gap. Hata kama an exist, it creates a gap because kuna vitu zenye mtu mwingine hawezi kufunza, only your father can teach you. So it's a very critical role in growing up, especially to a boy child.
Unajua sana sana wazazi wa wanaume kama vile baba anachukua ni hali ngumu yeye. Unajua baba wanapenda sana sana watoto wa wasichana. So kwa mvulana inakuwa ngumu kumpatia. Kwa mfano mimi niko na sister yangu, unaona? But sister yangu ukiona vile tulipokuwa high school na yeye alikuwa anapewa pocket money nyingi kunishinda. Unaweza pata yeye amepewa kama like 2000, mimi napewa hata 500. Juu mimi ni mtoto wa kimwanamume. So hapo napata kuwa natengwa. So mimi naonelea kuwa kama mzazi mwanamume anafaa tuweke pamoja, tuwe na usawa, unaona? Nikipewa maybe 500, upia apewe 100 juu watoto ni same.
Yes, right. Hiyo ni kali sana. Kwanza hii ya nyuma ni kali sana. Mchungaji, maybe kwa dakika moja unaweza pia kutoa and then we continue.
I think one of the a very critical thing being said here. There are things, and one of the things I've captured there is that there are things only your father can teach you as a child.
Yes.
Someone else's father wouldn't.
It's true.
And that's very important. That tells you the fathers must learn to raise their boys themselves. But then there is also the other issue of sharing responsibility. That man is trying to tell us both the mother and the father must balance their role in upbringing
the child.
You cannot leave the child to the mother, neither can you leave the child entirely with the father. Both parenting roles are very important for a balance.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think now we can shift our gear to the main topic, the role of a father in parenting.
Yes.
Thank you for your good foundation. So you may continue.
That's great. We are talking about the role of a father in parenting. And I've just shared about the 4 types of fathers. The biological, we have talked about the adoptive. The one who adopts a child is also a father. Yes. The one who gives birth is a biological father. Then we also have the foster father. I'm taking care of you because I'm a man and I see you need help as a man to be a father. So I will take care of you whether your father is alive or not, or whether you, whatever. I take a responsibility to nurture you as a father. And one of the things I also want you to understand in parenting, for us to understand the role of a father, we really need to go back to the beginning of parenting. The beginning of parenting, we can only look at the stages of parenting so that you can understand how the father needs to walk the journey with the child.
Right.
Because I've just said parenting the boy child is not an event, is a process, is a journey. Yes. It's not a destination, it's a journey. This journey begins where? So let's look at this journey of the father parenting their children, and especially the boy child. One of the first stage of parenting is called the pregnancy stage. Fathers are responsible of the pregnancy you see with women around. And sometimes they think they will begin parenting when that child is born. But no, parenting begins immediately when the child is forming in the womb.
That is good news.
Because your behavior as a father really impact the child in the womb.
Yes.
Number one, this is the parenting stage. What do they call this? The image making stage is the stage where the father and the mother are looking for a child.
Yes.
So both has to cooperate. It's fatherhood. Number two, it's the stage where the wife becomes expectant. And it's a stage where, as a father, you need to know that you have a role at the pregnancy stage. Role number one is to understand your wife, because she has changes in the body, changes in the mood, changes in lifestyle. She has a slow, she has a slow moves on things. And you are doing that because you are a father of the child your wife carry.
Yeah.
At this stage, you also need to provide for your wife, take care of your wife, and also be there with your wife, and finally be faithful to your wife. Did you know when women are expectant, many husbands really deteriorate in their character? Because you want to look to go and find maybe someone who is not expectant. So as a father, because of the child who is coming, this pregnancy stage requires that you remain faithful, you persevere, walk the journey, be available. Mama akitaka kujipindua kwa kitanda kwa sababu ya kuchoka na amechokeshwa na kijana yako ama msichana yako, you are still a father hata kama huoni mtoto. So that stage is a stage of fathering, but many people overlook it. And then avoid torturing the mother, because when you're torturing the mother, that attitude and feelings are transferred to the child. That's why you see mtoto anazaliwa hataki baba, ukimshika anapiga nduru. Ilianza pale ndani. Wakati ulikuwa unatesa mama, ana transfer the same attitude and feelings to the child. So the moment you give birth, that child also doesn't want to see you. And that is why you realize it will take another moment of rebuilding relationship with now the newborn.
Now,
So,
I
for
once
those-
had, Wanakagi, I had somebody giving a, si kama ilikuwa ni rafiki tu anazungumza na mwingine. Nikasikia amemwambia, tunashukuru Mungu we are pregnant. No, I feel nikasikia ni kama iko a bit awkward. But later, wakati nilifikiria what he said, I think nika understand what he meant. Because baadaye unasema, tumebarikiwa na mtoto.
Nyote mko na mimba. ni
So,
vile.
kabla
Vile
mbarikiwe,
hujabeba.
It is a corporate responsibility. And that's why I think many men don't know. Yes. And that's, thank God for the Men Matters today. Yes. Many men don't know. At this stage now you're giving us is very, very key to any father. Yes. In terms of bringing the child even after birth.
Sure. And you also need to understand that how you handle the mother during pregnancy may determine the kind of a child you are going to parent. So it's a parenting stage. And you also need to make sure that when your wife attends prenatal clinics, join her.
Wow.
Ask for permission from work and take her. Go wait for what the doctor is examining. Take your wife back home. Then take things easy. Don't get easily offended by such a woman. She is also having another person who is also having the demands, and you may not know who is actually making her, whether it is her or the person she is carrying, who is bringing issues. So as a father at this stage, you need to be very understanding. And I think the words Peter says in the book of Peter, that our man must learn to live with their wife with understanding. This is one of the areas you need a lot of understanding and a lot of faithfulness.
Yes. And maybe Mchungaji, one matter that has been there is when the wife conceives unplanned, and therefore the husband goes mad.
I would say that it's not easy to conceive a child you never planned and be happy at the same time. So sometimes you want 2 or 3 children and God decides you can also have another one with all the planning methods.
Yes.
It's good to understand that that child is only that was not expected, but it's a blessing. And you need to quickly accept it, redefine your expectations with your wife and your husband, and then don't scold one another, because the battle can come from the wife or the battle can come from the husband. But it calls for understanding that now it has happened. We were once parents. It's no problem going back and raise this child. Maybe that child will be a child of destiny, will be the child who will be a liberator of that family, or maybe that's the child God has decided to bring to your family to change the narratives. So what I always advise the parents, number 1, only know that the only challenge is that you never expected the child. All the other things are in place. The God will provide for the child. You will be able to nurture the child, and life will continue.
Now, there is an issue there. Maybe Wanakagi, as we get this from Reverend, what will you tell the parent mwenye ndio that happened na wako na mtoto 10 years, 15 years, lakini bado hawajawahi accept huyo mtoto, because they are children that are suffering that rejection. Na
Because they were born unexpectedly.
Yes. Hata mtoto mwenyewe anaweza akakwambia, by the way, mimi venye huwa naona nikitreatiwa huku, I can tell you I'm never part of this family.
I would say that it's parenting in error to reject a child because the child came when you did not expect him or her to come. It's parenting in error. It is inherent to do that. So as a mother and a father, you really need to understand that you are affecting a human being simply because they were born unexpectedly. You are affecting them by rejecting them. And simply because they were born, you need to understand they have a destiny, they have life, they have their own future. And as a father, you are a determinant factor of the kind of human being that person is going to be. So I encourage every mother and father who have gotten a child that you never expected to quickly adjust your mind, go back to the drawing board, Think about how you are going to help that child because the child has come. I cannot encourage abortion unless there are medical reasons, because you may end up aborting what you need tomorrow. The other thing I also encourage the parents is to understand if the problem persists, maybe you are fighting about it or you are struggling to love the child, go for therapy, go for counseling, because you can also always be helped on how to deal with that. Then ask God to give you grace to love that child. It's the child from your womb. So even rejecting such a child really is an abnormality because it's your own. So I encourage every parent. If you became pregnant unexpectedly, it's not an accident. Take it as a blessing, readjust, refocus, go back to the drawing board. Let's raise the child like any other child we expected. That child is an important child in this world, could be the president, could be the next MCA. You may not know why God allowed that child to come.
All right.
Go back to the drawing board and think what to adjust. Yep.
Yeah, we want to continue. We want to go back to the streets to hear what the public is saying about this matter. When we're coming back, we'll dig more on this.
A father should be a provider, a father should be a protector, a father should be a helper, a father should be a friend. So when he is a provider, he provides for the young boy, the young son. Then a protector, he protects the necessities of the man, or of the boy I mean. Then a helper, everything that, you know, when boys are growing, there are things that maybe they can't share with us women. And it needs the attention of a man because they experience that, they know it. They can explain better than we do. So I think a man should be a helper in that and a saidiana. Then a friend, somewhere to lean on. Daddy, I need this. I can't go and tell mommy that this is happening to me. Maybe she won't understand. And daddy is the person who can understand better.
Okay, to me, I think the role of a father is being a role model because we know that children learn by seeing mostly. So, for example, if they see that their father maybe is treating their mother arrogantly, or even maybe they see when something makes a mistake, the father yells. So the boys will know that when someone makes a mistake, you have to yell. Or if someone makes a mistake, you have to punish them when they see the father punishing. So I think the main role is the father being the role model.
Tukiongelea responsibilities za baba kwa mtoto, hiyo ni kitu ingine, issue ingine kubwa sana. First of all, most parents, especially baba akikuwa ignorant, tabia, especially hii generation yetu tunaona, nasikia watu wengi wakisema ati you are weak men, where are our men? Our men are where? So when father figure akikuwa absent, ina produce, ndio mtu atagrow, ataonekana, but atakuwa, yani generally atakuwa weak in one way or another, kumanage issues, kuhandle emotions, depression, stress. Sasa presence of a father kwa familia, kwa mfano baba anasaidia kwa kumanage discipline kiburi kidogo anaifinya inarudi chini, alafu generally kwa tabia. And then as a father is a provider. A father is a provider. Yani ukisikia mzazi unaona at least ukisikia kwa mfano kwa hii dunia most of the times mtu anajisikianga ka alone, but ukipigia mzazi ukisema usijali, tulia tu kidogo na kupatia support.
Ni maoni ya Wakenya hayo ambayo wengi wao ni wazazi, ambapo wanaelezea majukumu ya baba katika kumlea mtoto mvulana, ambapo tumeona wengi wakitoa maoni tofauti wakisema ya kwamba baba ana nafasi kubwa sana katika kuhakikisha mtoto mvulana anaweza kuwa mtoto ambaye wa kutegemewa, mtoto ambaye anaweza kuigwa hata ambapo anakuwa mtu mzima katika siku zijazo, siku ambazo ameweza kuwa mtu mzima, ametoshea kuoa, siku ambavyo ametoshea kuwa mtoto ambaye anaweza kujitegemea katika jamii. Na kufikia hapo, Kagi pamoja na Mnene, narejesha usukani kwenyu ili mkaweze kuendeleza mjadala Jina langu ni Vincent Kimutai, MBC TV, Mid Morning Park.
Thank you so very much Vincent Kimutai for that wonderful job. Job well done. Mchungaji, umesikia baba pia kwa mambo ya discipline series iko sawa?
Kabisa.
Hata vijana wamekubali.
No, baba akikudiscipline huwa inashika. Maana anagonga vizuri.
Mama inakuwa kidogo iko na
utaniulia mtoto. So
kama ni mimi nimekosea useme.
You notice when the fathers discipline the child, you hear the mama akiangalia vile anagongwa. Baadaye unasikia akisema, utaniulia mtoto. Anaingilia. So discipline ya baba huwa inashika. Inashika. So we were looking at the stages of parenting for the father.
Yes.
And we have talked about stage 1, which is pregnancy stage, which is 0 to 9 months. But then after the child is born, we begin again from 0 to 2 years.
Yes.
This is called nurturing stage.
Yes. Nurturing stage.
Why it's called nurturing stage is because the child needs your total nurturing. And the child can't do anything for him or her. You know, at this stage is when the fathers refuse or run away from responsibility. They become avoidance fathers.
At this stage?
At this stage, because there's a lot of responsibilities. And also there's also challenges. Let me tell you the challenges men and fathers go through at the stage, the nurturing stage.
Yes.
Is, you know, the attention of your wife is now to the child. Because it's newborn, 0 to 2 years.
Yes.
Only mature men really handle that well. Number 1, you used to sleep in the same bed together. You didn't know the bed is small. So you normally know after someone has come and you realize you are sleeping on the edge of your bed. So you didn't bother to enlarge that bed until mama want to create a space for the baby,
yes,
a space for her, and now ujipange na what is remaining. So if you are a man who lacks understanding, you can decide to go and look for somewhere else to stay.
It's true.
And the next thing is that another thing men don't know that is going to happen is that the attention of your wife is going to be drawn to the child more than to you. So it requires a man to just allow it. It's just for some time.
Yes.
Because the child needs a lot of attention. At this juncture also, as a man, what should a man be able to do is to create understanding, be available, and the child is messy and needing a lot of help, and everything is dependent on both of you. So as a father, be available, provide, and make sure that the child is not going to suffer your absence.
Mchungaji, we hold there.
Yes.
We'll be right back to continue because it's time for our short break. We'll be right back.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Mafuta ya kupika ya Corn Gold Premium yanakupa siri halisi ya chakula kitamu. 100% ya Corn Gold Premium Cooking Oil yametengezwa kwa mahindi. Si mafuta tu ya kupika, it's the heart of your kitchen. Yanajali afya yako na yamejaa utele wa ladha. Yana wingi wa vitamin A na E. It's naturally low in saturated fats na ni cholesterol free. Unaweza kuyatumia kwa frying, sauteing, roasting na pia baking. Boresha mapishi yako leo kwa kutumia Corn Gold Premium Cooking Oil na yanapatikana kwenye duka lolote karibu nawe. Taste the difference. Chagua Corn Gold. Corn Gold Premium Cooking Oil. Afya yako, jukumu letu.
Hujambo na karibu katika taarifa zetu. Ni wakati wa kukujuza yanayojiri ndani na nje ya taarifa zinazotufikia kwa sasa. Taarifa ni muktasari tu. lakini katika jamii yetu tunadadisi kiundani na kukuletea kina cha jambo. Ni aje? Wakajikuta ndani. Ni yapi ambayo waliyapitia na kutengeza vile ambavyo unaviona?
Sasa unakata glasi.
Afya bora, tamaduni, elimu, mazingira, hata majanga. Maswala yaliyo na mguso yanayokuhusu kwa njia moja ama nyingine.
Nasema sisi tuwe kitu moja.
Au kukula jana.
Ilikuwa positive.
Uze anything. Wakisikia kuna shida ni vyema kukuja kufanyiwa check up.
Yote haya ni kwenye makala Jamii Yetu kila Ijumaa saa 12:30 jioni hadi saa 1 usiku, ukiletewa nami Enaeli Mlinga.
Experience a journey of spiritual elevation and immerse yourself in the most uplifting worship moments. Watch the best of worship culmination every Saturday from 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. It's an awe-inspiring event featuring anointed worshippers and going beyond the studio to connect with young souls eager to embrace the divine presence in educational institutions. Get ready to elevate your spirit and embrace the true essence of worship with Maria Omondi and her incredible team of worshippers.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Yes, welcome back. Today we are asking you what is the difference between previous and present generation fathers. But the topic is the role of a father in parenting. And we are in stage 2 with Reverend Sami Mahoya.
Yeah, we are saying that parenting goes with stages. There are about 6 stages of them. And we're just going to look at 2 stages.
Yeah.
Stage 1, we have said, is 0 to 9 months. It's called pregnancy stage. Stage 2, we have said, is called nurturing stage. It is 0 to 2 years. This is a most challenging stage for every father, because I've just said you are not prepared for some things, you just experience them. You know, the funniest thing about parenting, we don't go sharing. So everybody is surprised by things. Another parent was surprised and never said. So at this juncture, there is a lot of challenges with the parenting, because the child could be in need of both parents' attention.
Yeah.
One parent is really getting really tired. I'll give you an example. My children were really very, what do I say? They were crying a lot. And ndio atulie ni kutingi, unatingiza, unaona umechoka, mama anachukulia, anatingiza, nachoka. So saa ingine unasikia utaki kuchukua tena. Unachoka mikono juu umechoka ukitoka kazi. Na unaweza angusha mtoto, unalala ukitingiza. Usitukie mtoto ako chini. So stage 2 require understanding father, because the mama attention is gone to the child.
Yeah.
Your space is invaded by a stranger. And you also need to understand there is a slowdown to a lot of things that probably you could see your wife doing for you. So you need to have a lot of understanding as a man. At that stage, you need to be a good provider, because the child really need a lot of provision. Did you know 0 to 2 years? Hata unaweza nunua pampers mzima, mtoto haribu yote the whole night. Asubuhi hakuna, uende ingine. Usitusi mtoto. Ni stage. Ni stage. Na usiambie mama hakuna kunyonyesha mtoto sana. Unanipeleka hasara ya pampers. Ni stage. Yeah. So you need to be a provider. You need to be available, because mama need help. And this is your work.
Yes.
Wewe ndiye ulitia bidii. Sasa kuwa karibu, msaidie kutoa mtoto stage 1, stage 2. Yes. You also need to be a faithful partner at this juncture, because you see there is a lot of challenges. Your wife may not be sexually active as she has been, especially the first few 6 weeks, you may realize that your wife is not sexually able. So be faithful no matter what is going on. And then you also need to be loving and caring. Be there to care, be there to show love, and then understand your wife's attachment to the child, not to you at that stage.
All right.
And that is a very boring stage for many men. Many men have collided with their wife forever at that stage. That's when you are known as a father, whether you are a real man or a trust bearer.
All right.
We know that you are a real man during pregnancy and immediately after childbirth. That's when a real man comes handy. In handy. So I would want you to understand that parenting goes with the stage. We are stage 2.
Right.
Next time when we are coming, we should be able to handle stage 3, 4, 5, and stage 6.
All right. Because our time is far much gone, Monene.
Yes.
We need to share what is remaining. We look at the feedback there, and then we give Mchungaji time for the book insight.
Yeah, maybe we could get like 2 or 3 responses hapa. Niko katika MBC TV. And kuna mmoja anaitwa DJ D-Nice anasema ako upande wa Baringo. Elda Maravini anasema Chepsito Massive. Okay. Kuna mwingine wa Mahoya Glansam anasema More Grace. Wow, nice. Glory. Kuna mwingine hapa anaitwa Naomi Bugwa anasema following from Githunguri Kiambu anasema God bless our very own Reverend Mahoya, More Grace. Na pia naona ameweza kuenumerate vizuri sana whatever the points, the different types of parenting, ikifika ni styles of leadership namuona pale. Kuna mwingine naye anaitwa Joseph Kamau anasema ya kwamba boy child amekumbukwa at least. At last.
Yes. The boy child has been remembered.
Yes.
In my book, 21 Qualities of a Spiritual Leader, I would want to do a book insight here on quality number 13. Spiritual leaders are willing to pay the price. And I want to share this with all men. Parenting is costly. And as a man, you must be willing to pay the price. In this book, I talk about the price you are going to pay as a leader. The price you are going to pay as a leader, you will pay the price of energy needed to establish a family.
Yeah.
You will pay the price of the time required to build a family. You will pay the price of leaving your comfort zones to nurture your family. You will pay the price of commitment and dedication to your family. You will pay the price of demonic attacks as you raise your family. You will pay the price of fake people who also want to attack your family. You will pay the price of criticism and ridicule about your parenting style. You will pay the price of loneliness as you raise your children. You will pay the price of patience because a lot of patience is needed in raising children as a father. You will pay the price of endurance. We said there's a lot of endurance for a man to be a father. You will pay the price of overwhelming needs.
Overwhelming needs.
Needs in the family. You will You will pay the price of rejection and hatred as you raise your children. You will pay the price of opening new territories to venture into things for the sake of your family. You will pay the price of fear associated with parenting. You will pay the price of hard work associated with upbringing of the children. You will pay the price of continued sacrifices to make sure that your children get education, your children are able to become what they see themselves becoming. You will pay the price of betrayal. Sometimes you can raise children very well and they betray you. Or you can be betrayed by the very mother who gave birth to those children. You will pay the price of leadership pain, because being a leader of the family is painful. You will pay the price of opposition and demonic resistance to your family. You will pay the price of integrity, your integrity being questioned as a father, either by your wife or even by your children or other men. You will pay the price of hard conversations in the family. And as a man, The road to success in parenting is paying the price. Persevere and pay the price you need to pay. This is a book about 21 qualities of a spiritual leader. And a man is a spiritual leader in his family. And one of the quality of a leader is you must be willing to count and pay the price. Be ready to count, be ready to pay the price. No shortcut in parenting is costly.
Yeah. I think we can pick like one or two which you can be able to expound before we have some few minutes there.
Yes. The other thing I would like us to look at the other principle is page 73, that a leader need to be prayerful. And a man need to be very prayerful. This is very, very insightful, because parenting requires the help of God.
Yeah.
And I would say that for a man to be a good leader in the family and to be a father, you really need to know how to pray. Because parenting is something very challenging if God is not going to help you. There is much power in prayer, and we are able to deal with things that really challenges men. And I would say to every man that you need to set time aside for your prayer. And what your prayer should include, number one, is family worship. So that you come together to worship together, pray together, so that you can be able to invite God to help you deal with parenting issues. The next one,
that as a man, you have to specific your specific time.
Yes, you need to create specific times, if not every day, at least once, twice in a week, where you meet with your family for worship, family worship service. Second one is petitioning, is mentioning your needs to God, because there are so many needs in the family, and they need to be presented to God as a family. The other one is intercession, is taking time to pray for each and every one of your child, and praying for their mother, and praying for their specific life, specific needs, specific future. You do intercession as a father for your children. And then the other one is spiritual warfare. As a man, you need to wage war and fight for your children. You really need to engage the spiritual realm and deal with demonic attacks, demonic resistance, challenges that affect your child, that the teacher cannot deal with. It's not about you, it's not about your wife. These are demonic, and they need you to be a fighter for your children. And then the other thing...
Before we continue,
yes.
I'm interested on the issue of the demonic attacks.
Demonic attacks
as a
in
father.
The family.
Yeah. Maybe would you expound more?
Let me tell you, in the path of every child, there are battles. And these battles are battles of destiny. Because every child is a carrier of a destiny. So the enemy will sense those destinies earlier when the child is young. And destiny hijackers are released to hijack the destiny of every child. Therefore, as a father and a mother, you must be not only provide for your family money, food, and clothing and shelter, you must also be a protector. And a father being a protector, know that one of the things you protect your children and family from is the devil himself. The devil is out to introduce pornography in your home, is out to introduce sexual immorality in your family. The devil is out there to introduce LGBTQ in your family. What you need to understand, you are a fighter as a father. Fight for the right of your child. Fight spiritually. Read the word of God to them. Guard them with your prayers, because you as a father, you have to really understand the devil is out to block you, to resist you, to resist your family, frustrate them, and even put them in bondage. That's why you need to always lay hands on your children. Sometimes I tell them to kneel down. I speak word of God to them. I pray for them. And I also speak to the devil about my children, because he need to understand we did not give birth to these children with him. These are our children with my wife. He must keep off his dirty hands. And you must learn to stand firm and cover your children with prayer. The other thing I also want you to say, every man must develop a prayer life. Because as a man, one of the leadership quality of being a good leader is to have a prayerful life. You develop prayer habits. And one of the things I say, I will advise all men to do, to be able to have a prayerful lifestyle. Number one is desire to become prayerful. Every man must have that desire in their heart. Number two is to develop a personal prayer life. Don't just pray when you are with your family. Create time alone as a man to go before God. God loves to listen to men. He created men and gave them a very huge responsibility. So it's good for a man to keep on going to his God to ask for help. Individually. The third one is develop a personal prayer program. And know when you pray as a man. Know what you pray for as a man. Create time to go to God with a program that really you follow. A systematic way of appearing before God as a man. Right. Then the other thing is develop a family prayer life. You really need to bring your family to a point where the family is prayerful. It's a habit you nurture. It's a quality you nurture, the quality of family prayer life. Then the other one is develop prayer partners. As a man, don't just pray alone. Sometimes you feel like you don't want to pray. Have men you can meet together and storm heaven because of your needs. And the other one is convert your home into a prayer room. Make sure there is a place in your house, in your room, where you come to pray, where you come to seek God. So convert your house into also a prayer room, not a battle room.
Yeah, I want you to expound on that, Munene.
Yes.
I think there was a time when I was on radio, that question came up. What are you talking about when you're saying that you set a place in your home to be a prayer room? Exactly.
I know that can be very confused because some other people are living in a confused room, a single room, so you may not even know where you pray. But you need to understand, if the Lord has given you a big house, maybe 1 or 2 bedrooms, you can always create a place where you go to pray. Convert your home, however it look like, where you stand when you go to seek God. You can have a seat and a small table. It's a place you convert that place to be a prayer place for you and your family. Why we do that is because we want our mind to be conditioned that when I come here, I come to pray, I come to hear God, I come to seek His will concerning my family. So you really need to convert your house into a prayer room.
Nice.
Then the other thing is pray continually and consistently. Know that the biggest challenge is we have as men is to pray consistently. Sometimes we pray when we are in the church. But it's good to know it's a discipline you nurture to pray consistently and continually for your family and for your children. The other one is pray focused, specific prayer. You need to pray focused and specific prayer. Don't just go make noise, rabba, 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 and you're saying nothing. Just know what you are praying for. And that calls for a man to list down prayer needs for the family. And when you note down your prayer needs as a man, you know when God will do them because you check. It also keeps you on your toes to pray for things that you understand.
Right.
And it also gives you a moment for you to be thankful to God because you can know and remember what He has done.
You can tick.
Then,
what has already been done.
Yes. Then practice the art of intercession on a daily basis to other people. You need to learn to pray for people who are outside your family. You know, when you are praying for people, prayer needs are never in short supply. You keep on finding so many things to pray for. And finally, you need to keep a prayer record. What God has done, what you are asking Him, and then pray scriptural prayers. Declare scriptures that are relevant to your life, family, and children. Prayer is essential in upbringing. You cannot upbring children without prayer. And let me tell you, your children doesn't only need education. They also need some spiritual help.
Yes.
And that help must be initiated by the father.
Right.
And if you think they don't need, just wait. On the path of your children, they are predators. And these predators are invisible. They need a father who is a fighter. A father who can respond spiritually, not just physically. Not all the time you need to take your children to the hospital. Not all the time you need to ask for pastor to come to your home as a man. Not all the time you actually need to look for deliverance. You need to be the deliverer as a man, the spiritual leader, the pastor of the home. You need to come out clearly and stand in as a spiritual leader, as a man.
All right. Again, the book is called?
The 21 Qualities of a Spiritual Leader.
All right.
And if you need this book, you can get this book on SMS 0783 90 50 25. 0783 90 50 25. And the book will be delivered where you are, or you can get this book at...
You can give us the SMS number again.
The SMS number is 0783 90 50 25. 0783 90 50 25, or you can get this book at Kingdom Seekers Bookshop, Heaven's Gates Bookshop, or in Nairobi at Kingdom Builders Church International, Kagudo Road, Ferozi Stage.
Munene, I don't know whether you have your final say or maybe a feedback before we close the program.
Yeah, maybe I'll just give maybe one feedback here. Kando na there is somebody who is at Ruai anauliza vile atapata kitabu, najua sasa umemwelekeza how they get the book. But let me just read this one. Na mtu anasema hapa, praise God, kindly talk about a man who loves his family and never responsible. He doesn't like working. He is at home. Is it right to stay with somebody like that and he is not sick? So
I think number one, what that lady is saying, that man doesn't love his family.
No, I think now this one, I think sababu naona iko na mambo mengi, we may not possibly have time kurespond kwa hii vizuri katika upana ambao unaweza kusaidia mtu. Now what I can say is maybe you can stay tuned, yeah, you can stay tuned until next Friday. Yes. Maybe this is one of the things ambao tunaweza kuangalia next Friday, tuulize mtu kama huyu, what are the characteristics of a man who loves his family, ndio tuone kama huyu ana qualify kuwa katika that category. And how do we deal with them?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I think with that we can close the program, the Men Matters Friday. We want to thank you for coming and for your rich insight on the role of a father in parenting. Today we dealt on 2 stages. And next week, God willing, we shall finish
4 stages.
4 stages. So stay tuned, dear viewer, because Reverend Muhoya, God will be here to be able to give us enrichment on how to enable father in parenting. And on behalf of my colleague, Munene David, say hi to them.
Yes, thank you so much even for tuning in. Asanteni sana, and you always make this program exciting and involving.
Till next week, Paul Kagi, bye for now.
See you.